Good evening, yogis. So nice to be here with you for our yin practice together tonight. We're going to start in a reclined position. Now go ahead and grab any pillows and props that you might need. And you can start, if you want, laying back on a pillow to support your chest and open up through the shoulders and chest a little bit. Or you can just lay completely flat. And we'll recommend to start to open the hips, soles of the feet together, knees open wide in a reclined butterfly position. And of course, if you're here with me in Melbourne on this beautiful, rainy, cloudy, interesting weather kind of day, aren't they all interesting in Melbourne? You might want to grab a blanket too so you can chill out and yin out. So go ahead and find a comfortable reclined position to begin. Any props supporting you that you like. And again, if you're just joining us, soles of the feet together, knees open wide. It's always a nice place to begin to start to open up through the hips. If we haven't had the pleasure of practicing together before, my name is Sarah, and we're going to take our time through 60 minutes, or what's left of it, of a yin practice together. We'll move nice and slow. We'll take some long holds to open up through the hips, and we'll always keep calibrating back to a deep breath that allows a sense of presence. And that's our entry point to everything else. So here, let your body feel heavy. Soften the face, like the jaw, the eyes, the forehead. Soften the shoulders. Relax all the way down to the hands. Release any holding through the chest or the belly so the breath floats in and out naturally. Soften your hips, thighs, legs, all the way down to the feet. Let your whole body relax. And as you stay mindfully here, take a full deep breath in. And a big releasing exhale breath. One more like that, all the way in. And a sigh to relax. Now let yourself settle in, the breath rhythmically floating in and out on its own. But you're here noticing with awareness. So I've heard a lot in yoga and mindfulness practices about shifting your perspective. Like when things are difficult or challenging or stormy, you can just shift your perspective and all of a sudden everything's positive and you're grateful. But in my experience, it's not really that easy. So I invite you on this exploration during our practice together tonight of like, what does that mean and how do you do it? How do you transform your perspective, change your point of view, get from feeling tragic and stressy and annoyed to feeling grateful and peaceful and spacious? And you know, there's this age-old quote that when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And I always kind of just thought that meant that you add some sugar, sweeten it up a little, and then whatever bitterness is there kind of gets a little bit more digestible. But, you know, whether or not it's doing that or, you know, the one that's like, oh, when life gives you lemons, get some tequila. Take tequila shots. I like that one better, maybe. Sounds a bit more fun. And, but it doesn't really matter, whatever that means. Like, how do you get from, I've got these lemons, this difficulty, this bitterness, this something, and how do you make the best of whatever you've been given? How do you use that thing to your advantage? So as we move through the practice together tonight, contemplate and maybe practice how to shift those moments of difficulty, like tension in the body, a pose you don't particularly want to be in. Use it to your benefit and shift your perspective on the experience. Start here. Even if this is your favorite pose of all time, just notice here. It might be useful to ask yourself or ponder with awareness, like what's here for you in this moment, in this experience. And as always, keep coming back to the breath to give yourself that sense of present moment connection, where you can get into that awareness and consideration of how you can use the moment to your benefit. Stay here for just a few more breaths, lingering in the feeling of the body being here in this moment. Lingering in long, buoyant breaths. Just one more breath in. Long breath out. Now move slowly and mindfully, even in the transitions. So on your back, go ahead and just start to move a little. A little stretch or a wriggle, a roll of the head or neck, a big stretch of the arms overhead. And eventually, make your way to a hands and knees position. Like, seriously, take your time. You might roll over to a side and eventually press up. And once you find a hands and knees tabletop position, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Listen, if you just want to chill, send it back to child's pose for a few breaths. But knowing that we're going to be static, holding still for most of the practice, maybe you want to move around a little. Maybe you want to dip an arch through the spine or roll through the hips and shoulders. Just do anything that feels good there, starting to open up in your own way. Find some breath and some space to connect, and use this moment to your benefit. Movement, just as much as stillness, moving around in a way that feels good for you. And as you come back through center, take a little moment to decide. Our next shape is going to be sleeping swan, aka pigeon. But if you know you have sensitivity in the knees, you can recline for reclined figure 4 stretch. You might like double pigeon, might be your fave. So you sit on your hips, put one shin over the top of the other, like an equal sign. Or if you're coming with me to sleeping swan, pigeon pose, maybe down dog is a nice place to transition. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. And then looking forward, right shin shimmies behind the wrists. And if you've got a block or a book or a pillow, placing it underneath the right hip or thigh can help align the hips in a way that's most beneficial to open up here in the outside of the hip, the glute. Left leg straight back behind you. And then go ahead and bow forward. You can put a pillow underneath your chest, your forehead. Do try to draw the right hip back in line with the left. And allow yourself to soften and settle into a stretch through the outside of the right hip. If you do have sensitivity in the right knee and you wanted to take reclined figure 4 onto your back, right shin across the chest, left knee acts as a little bit of a weight on the ankle, and then you can either just stay there or hold on to the left leg. Whichever variation you're choosing in your pigeon, double pigeon, sleeping swan, reclined figure 4, stay there and be there. You know, a lot of times the most meaningful practice of mindfulness is just to realign to being here. Because our brain can go a million different places, but when you choose to pause and recenter, then this moment can be of benefit to you. You can be aware of what's here and decide what you're going to do with those lemons, tequila, sugar, vodka, soda stream, I don't know, whatever you want to do with your lemons. And I was thinking that yoga is pretty much the perfect metaphor for life, especially the yin practice. For me, like I'm a really active person, so oftentimes yin isn't what I would prefer to do, but I know that it's going to benefit me. Does that sound like life already? Like you end up in a situation that you know is going to be good for you, but you don't really like it. And here in this experience, like I'm choosing the poses for you. You don't get to decide what situation you're in. And all you can do is either suffer through or make the most of it. So can you be here with that sense of awareness and curiosity? And a sense of understanding that whenever you pause to be in any moment, there's something that you can use to your benefit. Like here, if you're distracted and you're thinking about, I don't know, dinner or whatever, just me, whatever you're thinking about distracts you from this present moment, and then you're not noticing what's here for you. You're not taking the time to tune in and go, oh, I'm holding tension there. Or it feels a little bit tight in this part of my body. I wonder if I could stay and feel and soften it. I wonder if this new awareness of where I'm tight in my body could lead me to move more delicately or take care of my body in a certain way. There's something to learn in any moment if you stay long enough to notice. For just your last few breaths, can you stay here with awareness? Even if it's challenging. And notice where you can open up and where you can soften. Last breath. Gently, slowly, and carefully do whatever feels good to slowly exit this shape. Whichever shape you're in. Knowing we're just going to go to the next side, so if you're on your back, you can stay there. If you're on your front, doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. Kick around, shake around, stretch it out. And then we'll take a moment to rebound, to pause before we head into the second side of the shape. So do whatever feels good. Move for as long as you want to move, and then find somewhere where you can be still. You might lay on your belly, palms into your forehead, take child's pose, or lay on your back like a mini Shavasana. Wherever you end up, soften into it. Breathe into it. Enjoy a moment of being here gently. Take one more really powerful, deliberate inhale. A cleansing, softening exhale. And then set up gently for the other side. You know your body best, so find a variation to stretch the outside of your left hip. Either you can come to double pigeon. This time it would be the right shin on the bottom, whichever one you didn't do. Shin stacked parallel on top of each other, toes flexed. Or you can take it on your back. Left shin across the chest, right knee acts as a little anchor. You can hold the right leg. Or if you did so on the other side, or this side is preferable to come to your sleeping swan pigeon. Left leg, shin shimmies forward. Right leg straight back behind you. Again, for a lot of us, putting a pillow or a book or something underneath the left hip is going to be really advantageous to give us space to feel square, even through the hips. So set yourself up thoughtfully, mindfully. And then get into the breath to get into this moment of connection. Present moment awareness. So quite a few years ago, I read something that stuck with me and has kind of become part of my approach to life, I suppose, nowadays. It's that in any moment, especially the ones that are confusing or confronting or challenging, you ask yourself, like, what is there for me to learn in this moment? Like, what's the lesson here? And whether or not you believe that everything happens for a reason, or that we're being guided by something to have these lessons, regardless, it's always useful to ask yourself, like, what can I learn from this? So whether it's something amazing that you're learning or something challenging that you're learning from, any moment can be of benefit to you. Those lemons can be lemonade, they can be a lemon cake, they can be whatever you want them to be, but it's using what you have in front of you to your benefit. And something that I've been trying out lately that might be of benefit to you too is like this added layer. Not just what's the lesson here, but can I be grateful for the lesson here? Can I be grateful for this opportunity to be in whatever is happening in my life because I know that it can be of benefit? Thank you for whatever this is teaching me. Thank you for the opportunity to practice something that I'm trying to get better at. Practicing gratitude, practicing compassion, practicing awareness. These days, it's practicing trust and practicing surrender. So not only what can you learn here, but can you layer in that feeling of being grateful for the opportunity to be here in this moment and learn something from it? What could you possibly be learning now? And can you be grateful for that opportunity to be here learning whatever it is that you're learning? Only a few more breaths, so stay with it. Present moment awareness. Curiosity about whatever you might be learning. And a potential sense of gratitude for the opportunity to be here in this moment. One more breath. From wherever you are, journey into a little bit of movement towards a pocket of stillness. So stretch out, move around, wriggle. Do whatever's going to make you feel good in your body. After a long hold, allow movement, freedom of mobilizing. And then when you can, find any position to rest. Whether that's Shavasana, child's pose, laying on your belly with your palms into your forehead. You do you. Move for as long as you want to move and be still when you're ready. The beauty of this practice of gratitude and learning is that it's available even in these gentle, soft, beautiful moments of relaxation. Can you be grateful for the opportunity to be here and rest? Maybe there's a lesson there too. Just a few breaths to enjoy it. One more breath. All right. I preface this next shape by telling you I love you. And I love this shape for opening up the inner thighs, which is a spot that we don't always get to open. And there are a couple of different variations, so please take what's of best service to you today as we find frog pose. So if you've got a nice padded floor like carpet or something, good for you. If you've got tile floor, wood floor, be careful to add some extra padding. You could put a blanket underneath your knees. I like to just flip the edges of my mat inward. Gives a little bit of support and extra padding. And you take the knees out wide. Now, if you know you have sensitivity in the knees, the lower back of the hips, you can take like a super wide knee, child's pose, big toes together behind you, just bow forward. But for the rest of us, if you don't have any major knee concerns, shins are parallel, so your ankle's in line with your knee, knees in line with hips. You're making right angles. And then point your toes away from your knees. So it's a little zigzag. And then as you come forward, knees go out as wide as is possible for you. And then you might place a pillow or whatever kind of support you want to put underneath your belly, your chest, your shoulders. You might negotiate whether or not your hips come a little further forward or go a little further back. Maybe they stay directly in line with your hips, knees, hips, all in line. Find that sticky spot where there's something to learn, something to be opened, considered, and felt. I once heard a Tony Robbins quote that life isn't happening to you, but for you. And I think that if we could remind ourselves of that more frequently, then instead of feeling like we're victims of life, we can be empowered to know that anything that happens to us can be for our benefit. So when something challenging happens in your life, I'm sure in this weird little new age circumstance that we're in, you could think of some challenge it's presented. Or in your relationships, or in your personal self-development, or in your work, there's something at some point that will be challenging. So rather than just suffer through it or blame someone else for it, or feel bad for yourself for having to deal with it, could you use it to your benefit? Could you be curious what there is to learn? Like, what are you going to do with those lemons? You're going to be bitter about it? You can add some sugar, some tequila, some whatever. What are you going to do with it? And maybe even, could you be grateful for those challenges in life that help you grow and open and transform? Apply those ideas now if you can. As you stay here in the shape that you didn't choose, that you might not like, that might be challenging in some way, can you recognize that it's got some benefit? Can you soften? Can you open? Can you be aware and curious, compassionate, grateful? Stay for 3 or 4 more breaths. Allow yourself to be all the way here in this moment, aware and curious and open. Did you guys want to stay longer? Yeah, you look like you're having such a good time. In my imagination, you guys are just like sleeping. You're having such a nice, enjoyable moment. Okay, fine. Let's get out of it. Oh, take your time. Gently rearrange your body. Oh, Jesus. I'm getting old at 36. Okay. Reset, move around, do what you need to do to get out of that feeling. Oh, reset into a little bit of movement and then into stillness eventually. When you're ready, rearrange yourself. We'll take a little moment to pause before we head on. As always, a little rebound. So move around a little, and when you can, find a little moment of stillness. Check that you're still alive by taking a few breaths. And finding a little space there to just relax. A little caveat to this idea of looking for the lessons and everything. You can look for the lessons, and usually that's pretty beneficial. But that doesn't mean you have to know the answers. It doesn't mean you have to figure it all out. Sometimes it's nice to put it all aside and just take a few breaths to rest. So here, let go of any looking, let go of any trying, and just let yourself be here with your breath softly in your body for a few moments. When you're ready, come back to a seat for our final seated position before we recline. And similar to how we started, but a little bit different, we're going to take that butterfly shape with the legs, but here in a seat and folding forward. For a lot of us, it's going to feel really good to sit up on a pillow or a block or a book. And then you might want to have a couple other props handy, like pillows and stuff. Support the upper body, head and neck. So you might sit on a block or a book or a pillow. And then as you bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide, choose how close your legs' feet come towards you and how far away they are based on how it feels in your legs. And if you've got quite sensitive knees, you can support with extra pillows underneath the outer seams of the legs. Now, if possible, like a bed pillow would be good, like a really nice tall one, maybe a couple. Or if you've somehow got a bolster, you're like such a yogi, you got a bolster at home, so that you can have something for your head to rest on as you bow forward. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But give yourself some sense of support where you can. You can always like kind of get the pillow on your belly, then rest your elbows, put your head in your hands. Get creative. You got a whole couch full of cushions or a bed full of cushions. Nothing else to do with decorative pillows, so you might as well use them here. And alternatively, if you have sensitive knees and this doesn't feel particularly good for you in the forward fold aspect, you could take it on your back like we began. And support, again, the knees going outwards into some pillows. Now, I feel like I need to tell you, I don't usually teach this pose because I don't like it. I don't like the way it feels. I feel like I can't get really deep into it, so I feel like nothing's happening. I don't really understand the point. All these things go on in my mind when I do this pose. But that's why I put it in tonight, with this idea that sometimes maybe we don't see the benefit of something. Maybe we don't really like the position we've been put in. It doesn't mean that there isn't something that could be of benefit. That doesn't mean that there isn't something to be grateful for here. So in moments of difficulty or challenge or joy, any moment that you find yourself in, whatever situation, can you pause to be in it with awareness? Can you find something to learn, to benefit from? Can you be grateful for the opportunity to learn that lesson? Or grateful for the opportunity to practice a skill like compassion or surrender or trust? These skills are what it truly means to live as a yogi. This shifting your perspective, put it into place now, practice it. Can you learn something? Can you be grateful for something? Can you practice being whatever that you want to be? Just a few more breaths. Can you soften more, surrender more with a sense of acceptance of this moment and yourself, just as they are? Take 2 of the slowest, longest, deepest breaths you have all day. And only when you finish that second breath, then start to lift up, stretch out, wiggle around, kick it out, stretch it out. Now, before we head down, I think for the sake of setting up and etc., do any movement you want to do. But we'll use the next pose as like a rebound / stretch. We'll do supported fish, my new favorite, pillow fish, because we've got pillows at home. You'll need either a book or a block for your head, and then a pillow or another big book or, whatever for your upper back. So you could put a pillow, I prefer a block or a book for the head, and then another pillow that's going to go behind your upper back. And you lean back, hips are grounded, ribs and upper back land on your pillow, and then definitely have another pillow or a book or something for your head. And have a little play around with the position of all of your props so that your chest is supported and opening, and your head is also supported. And then place your arms anywhere that feels good, out wide, overhead, resting on the body. And choose a position with the legs that you like. Now, I might recommend, because we don't do it that often, feet wide, knees together. A lot of times we do feet together, knees wide, but this little internal rotation, like you can feel your inner thighs kind of spin down, might give a nice sensation of width of the lower back, the outer hips. And as you chill out in pillow fish, start to explore what it's like to be here in your breath. Oftentimes it's been my experience that as yogis, we look to our teachers or, the ancient practices, the ancient yoga sayings, or like, I don't know, some Instagram quotes. We're looking for like these answers to how to reduce suffering through teachers or gurus or quotes or teachings. But I think that the best teacher or the best answers are the ones that come from you. Like, you're your best teacher. So if you just take a few moments, slow down, pause, breathe, become aware, I think you can always come up with the answer that you're looking for. You're the lesson that's here in this moment for you. You're the one that can figure out how to shift your perspective towards gratitude or understanding or awareness. So as you spend these moments of connection here, let it deepen your trust in yourself. And take some slow, deep breaths to linger in that space. Take 2 more breaths just to be here. And then to come out of this one, it might be really nice to place your hands under the back of your head so you can pull your chin in towards your chest and gently roll up to come off your props. Keep your props handy for my second favorite pillow pose, pillow bridge. So as you recline down onto your back, give yourself a little shimmy and a shake, do what you need to do. But pretty immediately we'll head into supported bridge. Book and a pillow, pillow and a pillow, just one pillow, whatever you like. Come down to your back, bend your knees to lift your hips enough to slide these handy little props underneath you. And then let your hips be supported by whatever you've chosen. And then you can keep your knees bent, you can knock them together, you can keep them stacked right over the ankles, you can walk your feet out to start to open across the front of the hips more. And you can choose where you'd like to place your hands. And then go ahead and settle in. A few deep breaths takes you into that state of awareness and connection where you can tune in to feel the lessons and to be grateful for the opportunity to be here in this moment, using it to your benefit. Keep softening, keep breathing. Keep your awareness here. Just take 2 or 3 more breaths. And if you straighten your legs, begin to gently bend your knees, to softly walk your feet back in. And then pressing your feet down to lift your hips up. Remove whatever props you've got underneath your hips and let the hips land down. Now pause for a moment there. Drop your knees off to the left. You can open your arms to a T. Take a few breaths in your twist. And when you're ready, switch to the other side, knees to the right. Maybe arms stay open wide for a few breaths. And then knees back through center. Go ahead and move in any way that feels good for you. Move around, wriggle, do what you gotta do. And then set up for a guided relaxation, progressive muscle relaxation. You might put a pillow under your head, underneath your knees. You might wrap a blanket over your body. Set yourself up to be super comfortable. And find a little space, settle in. Make sure the whole body is quite comfortable and relaxed. This progressive muscle relaxation aims to offer complete and utter relaxation, a conscious rest. So make sure you're warm enough, that you're comfortable. And when you're ready, you close down your eyes. Tune into your breathing and notice the rise and the fall of the abdomen with each breath. Take a long, slow breath in through the nose, all the way down into your belly. Hold that in breath for just a moment, and then exhale through your mouth, allowing the breath to carry away stress and tension. Take another slow breath in through the nose, filling the lungs completely, holding it for a moment. And then release the breath through the mouth, emptying the lungs completely. One more time, just like that. A big, deep breath in, down to the belly and hold. And then let it go. Feel that your body has already undergone a change. Just a few deep breaths. The tension in the body already begins to loosen and subside. As your breathing rhythm returns to natural, normal, offer yourself the space to relax. During this progressive muscle relaxation, I'll ask you to tense various muscles through the body. Please do it without straining. You don't need to really exert yourself. Just contract each muscle gently on the in-breath. And then relax the tension on the exhale breaths. And if at any time you feel uncomfortable, simply just relax and breathe deeply. Start by bringing your awareness down to your feet and toes. Breathe in deeply through your nose, and as you do, curl your toes down, tensing the muscles in the soles of the feet. Hold your breath and this contraction a few seconds. And then as you exhale, release the muscles in the feet. You might feel the sense that the tension in your feet is washing away as you exhale. Notice the difference between the feet tensed and relaxed. Let's do it again. Take another deep breath in. Tense the muscles in the soles of your feet, holding the breath in the position for a few seconds, and then release. Feel yourself relaxing more and more deeply with each breath. Your whole body is becoming heavier, softer, and more relaxed as each moment passes. Bring your awareness now to your lower legs, the calf muscles. As you draw in a nice deep breath, kick through the heels to tighten through the calves, holding it. And then exhale, letting the muscles go limp. Once again, as you breathe in, kick through the heels, tighten through the calves and hold, and then let it all go. Keep breathing, feel the muscles relax, the tension washing away. Slide your awareness up to the front of your thighs. As you take a deep breath in, squeeze the thigh muscles toward the bone. Hold, and then release. As you do this, the blood flow to your muscles increases. There might be some warmth or a tingling sensation. Let yourself enjoy the feeling of soothing relaxation on each exhale breath. Here again, breathe in deeply, squeezing the thigh muscles towards the bone, holding that contraction in your breath, and then release. Focus on letting your legs feel loose and limp. Draw your awareness now to your butt cheeks, your glutes. And as you draw in a nice deep breath, gradually squeeze those big, strong muscles. Hold the contraction a few seconds, and then release. Feel the tension leaving. Feel like you're relaxing more and more completely. Once more, breathe in deeply, squeezing your glutes to hold, and then release. Becoming more and more deeply relaxed. Take another breath in. This time, gradually tighten all the muscles in your legs, from your feet to your glutes, in whatever way feels natural and comfortable to you, and hold, and then release all these large, strong muscles, allowing the sensation of release as you become more and more deeply relaxed. Now bring some awareness to your abdomen, your belly. Draw in a nice deep breath and tighten through the center of your belly. Imagine you're trying to touch your belly button to your spine, and then release the breath and let the muscles relax. Notice the sensation of relief that comes from letting go. Once again, draw in a deep breath and squeeze through the stomach. Hold, and then relax as you exhale. Slide your awareness up the muscles in your back. As you breathe in, take a little arch to the back to tighten the muscles across the back of the body. And then release the breath and relax. Again, draw in a slow, deep breath, arching a little to tighten the muscles in the back. And then relax and release. Now draw your attention up to your shoulder muscles, the muscles in your neck. On your next in-breath, start to gently draw your shoulders up towards your ears, squeezing gently. Hold. And then let go and relax. Again, shoulders towards the ears on the inhale breath, a little contraction to hold. And then relax and breathe out. Feel the heaviness in your body now. Enjoy this feeling. Allow yourself to become heavier and heavier. Feel yourself becoming more and more deeply relaxed. You are calm, secure, and at peace. Now it's time to let go of the tension in your arms. Let's start with your hands. As you breathe in, clench through the fists, activating the fingers, the palms, the hands, and then release. There may be a feeling of buzzing or throbbing, some sensation. And then as you exhale, there's that feeling of becoming very soft and relaxed. Take another breath in, clenching through the hands, the palms, the fingers, hold, and then release, hands and fingers going limp. Bring your awareness now to your forearms. As you breathe in, curl your wrists inwards till you feel the forearms tighten. And then relax and breathe out, tension subsiding. Again, breathe in, tighten the muscles in the forearms and hold. And then release, tension washing away. Slide your awareness to your upper arms. And whatever way feels best for you, as you breathe in, squeeze the muscles in your upper arms. Hold the breath and the contraction for a moment. And then gently release the arms and the breath all the way out. There may be some warmth or burning when you tighten through the muscles. But feel how relaxing it is to release that tightness and breathe away tension. Here, again, tighten the arm muscles as you breathe in deeply, and then relax your arms and breathe out. Your arms and hands are now heavy and relaxed. Take a couple of nice, long, slow breaths now, sinking into a sense of relaxation. Feel yourself slipping deeper and deeper into a state of complete rest. Draw your awareness now to your face. As you breathe in, squeeze your eyes shut and clench your lips and jaw. Hold. And then breathing out, relax the entire face, letting it soften. Again, breathe in deeply, squeezing the eyes, the lips, the teeth, the tongue, the jaw, and release. You're now completely relaxed from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Stay here for a few minutes to rest. Feel a deep state of conscious relaxation. Listen to the sound of your breathing and enjoy the lovely warm sensation of physical relaxation. Let the spaces between your thoughts increase as you softly drift to this feeling, the space between asleep and awake. Just 3 minutes of deep rest, conscious relaxation in Shavasana. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Stay for just a few more breaths. Hey, if you've got plenty of time, you might stay and rest longer, enjoying these moments of conscious rest to deeply integrate all the moments of connection. And if you're ready, start to take some deeper breaths, but stay here for just another moment. Sometimes I think it's easy to get lost in the challenges of life and trying to figure things out. And it's so worthwhile to pause once in a while and recognize that we're pretty lucky. To shift to that perspective of gratitude, that it's incredible that we even have the time to practice yoga, or the awareness or interest in learning something from each moment. The ability to have compassion and understanding and to grow and transform. So take a moment of gratitude here for your practice, for your mind, for your body, your heart, your breath. Take a moment of deep gratitude, like feel it. And then from that space, let's reintegrate. Still breathing deeply, start to wriggle fingers, toes, stretch. Now you can take as long as you like. When you feel ready, you might roll to a side and then press up, finding your way back to a seated position to finish. And as you find a seat, hands come to Anjali Mudra, prayer position in front of your heart. Thumbs resting on your heart, heart pressing to your thumbs. Take a moment of gratitude, connection. One more big breath in together. Full breath out. Thank you sincerely to every single one of you for choosing to spend your time here connecting to yourself and for sharing your beautiful energy with me through this new online platform that we share together. I know without a shadow of a doubt that that space within me of connection, gratitude, that perspective shift, that space in me is the exact same space in every single one of you. And in this space, there's really no difference or distance between any of us. So from this space to each other, we say namaste. Thanks, yogis. Have a beautiful Saturday night. Now, our free yin starting next week with me is going to be Friday nights at 5 o'clock. I figure if no one's got a commute, no one's got anything going on a Friday night either, we might as well just start the weekend right. So starting this coming Friday at 5 o'clock right here, or you can replay anytime. Have a great week, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.